Hey everybody, it's Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy with another project. Tonight, I'm going to try my hand at making my own Mod Podge. Let's see how it goes. All right, so first thing I did was I have a container with a lid, and I have this little container of just school glue. Put all of it in the container, and then I'm going to fill about 3/4 of the container with water, then put the cap back on and shake it up, and then add it to our container of school glue. And then put your lid on top of that again, and then we're going to shake it up. And I shook it up for probably, I want to say, a good minute. I know it sounds like a lot of time, but it's fine. Don't worry. All right, so after shaking it up for a good minute, let's just see what it looks like. So it is clearly much looser than Mod Podge in comparison, but all right, let's continue. And this is the matte Mod Podge, by the way. So I figured I would try and see if, what does it look like comparatively speaking? So I did one of my box sides. I'm going to decoupage it with a napkin. So I do this one with the Mod Podge, and I'm doing this side with the homemade one. The homemade one is definitely looser. I mean, I had to put, I had to brush on more of it. I suppose I could mess around with the formulation and see if maybe if I added more glue, less water, if that would change. I don't know. I did notice though that it was fine application wise. Like when I put my napkin on it and I did my braying on it, it was fine. Not much difference. I didn't notice much difference. The sanding was about the same for the two of them, and I did put a top coat on just to be on the safe side. Again, this is the matte that I'm using. And I did a top coat of the Mod Podge on both, on that one, and then I did the homemade one. Perfect. Then I also wanted to see, what if I did a can? If it's going to be any different with a can. So I, Mod Podge, put my napkin on, then the other side, I put the homemade one, and I did a top coat on each with the homemade and the Mod Podge. I did mark the bottom of the can, which was which, and I did the same thing on that box that I did. I just wanted to make sure. Now, I messed around with this a whole lot. First of all, things that I noticed. One, I noticed that it took a lot longer for the homemade Mod Podge to dry. Regular Mod Podge, it dries pretty quick. Homemade one, it took a little bit more time. End of the world? No, I don't think so. I did notice that it took a little bit more of the homemade Mod Podge than it did for the regular, but again, it's thinner. Now I tried the gloss. Now if you wanted to do gloss, the recipe is to put a tablespoon of polycrylic into your mixture. I'm going to tell you right now, friends, and I did the same thing. I'm telling you right now, I saw no difference. I saw no difference. Look at, you see it? Now this is Mod Podge, and this is the matte. There's a matte Mod Podge and a gloss, and I don't see a difference. They both look glossy to me. They both have like a sheen to them. In the end of it, if you want a nice matte finish, then absolutely the homemade one is the way to go. If you want a gloss, stick with Mod Podge.